So the most brutal thing ever happened to me just this morning. It started just like any other day. If you guys don't know, my routine pretty much just consists of me staying indoors all day because I got no friends, no girlfriend, and no job. So, my dad called me on my cell phone, and started going off about how I'm a 35-year-old NEET who doesn't do any work around the house. And I get it, he's from a different time. But at the same time, he just doesn't understand me. Like, do you have any idea how much weed I've got to smoke? Anyway, he told me to go to the grocery store and pick up some stuff, and to go outside because apparently that's too much work for him to do on his own, and I need to stop spending so much damn time indoors. So, I roll out of bed, throw on some clothes that have probably been lying around for a week or two, and head out to the store. When I get there, I make a beeline for the Totino's pizza rolls because, let's face it, that's the closest thing I'm getting to a home cooked meal tonight. And that's when I see her. Some cute college-aged girl with long brown hair standing a couple of feet away from me. Now, she's there contemplating whether to get the FaZe Clan orange chicken pizza rolls or the pepperoni pizza rolls, and I'm just standing there like an idiot. But then I realized that this is my only chance to get a girlfriend after this whole gym girl fiasco. So I'm trying to think of something cool to say. So I finally settled on saying something along the lines of, "So, tough choice, huh?" And completely regretted it. Like, like, in my head, I immediately cringed at how lame that sounded. But to my surprise, she looks up, smiles, and says, "Yeah, I could never decide. They're both so good. What's your favorite?" And at this point, I can't believe it. A girl is actually talking to me about pizza rolls. Like, for a 35-year-old loser like me, this is the stuff dreams are made of. I tell her that I usually go for the FaZe Clan rolls because I love orange chicken, and she actually listens to me. We start chatting about our favorite junk food, and before I know it, I'm totally smitten. And eventually, she says she has to go somewhere. Before we go our separate ways, she suggests that we hang out sometime and make our own pizza rolls from scratch. I agree, trying not to get my hopes up, and we exchange numbers. But when I say I was floating on cloud 9, I mean it. Now, because my dad wanted me to be outside for a bit, I decided to stop by at the local park. I didn't buy anything like milk or perishable items, nothing that would go bad, besides the pizza rolls. But even then, the pizza rolls were in the store freezer for so long that I decided I'd only stay there for 30 minutes anyways. So, when I was in the park, I was thinking of what to say on my date. That's when I noticed this homeless guy in the park. He had red hair, wild eyes, and he kept muttering to himself like he was trying to have a conversation with someone only he could see. He kept repeating, figure it out, Toad Billy slop, while pacing around in circles. It was weirdly hypnotic, but eventually it was enough to freak me out, so I got in my car and drove back. But whatever, I've got a date planned, so I'm still riding that high as I'm thinking of what to say in my car. Now, I know what you guys are probably thinking, wow, this guy's life is just too good to be true, and he's gotta be in the FBI or something. And while I can neither confirm nor deny my involvement with any government agencies, I can tell you that if you want to hear more thrilling stories like this, you should totally subscribe to my Patreon. I've got exclusive content, behind the scenes stories, and even a tier where I'll send you personalized pizza roll recipes. You don't want to miss out. Anyway, I get back home, totally psyched about my date and completely forgetting about my dad's rant earlier. Suddenly, life felt worth living again. So, I shoot a text to the girl, and at first she doesn't answer, and I'm like really freaked out. But then, things start to get a little weird. I get this random message from a number I don't recognize saying, "Hope you're ready for the ultimate date experience." I shrug it off, thinking that maybe she had just had another SIM card in her phone or something, and she was just texting me with that. I don't even bother texting her with the number she gave me, and instead, I just text her on that number saying, "Okay, see you soon," heart emoji. So the night of the date arrives, and I'm standing outside the pizza place waiting for her. Suddenly, a car pulls up, and I see her in the passenger seat. And oh my god, guys, this part was so... wait, that wasn't enough. This part was so brutal. The car door opens, and out steps Jeremy. Yes, that Jeremy. The guy who got me kicked out of my local martial arts gym during sparring. So next thing I know, Jeremy pulls his phone out and waves it just close enough that I can read the screen, And on the lock screen is my number with the text I sent to that shady number. And at that point, I'm just standing there, totally confused, when Jeremy smirks and says, and oh my god, this is so cringe. He says, "You really thought you were going on a date, huh? Well, guess again. Losermaxxing at FBI.gov." And then it hits me. The girl wasn't real. She was a robot. Jeremy had somehow created this lifelike robot to mess with me. The robot steps out of the car, gives me a pitiful look, and says,
"You're a loser, and you always will be. Ha ha."
Then, to top it all off, the robot woman sprouts wings and flies off into space, leaving me standing there in the parking lot like a complete idiot. So yeah, turns out the perfect girl I thought I met in the pizza roll section was actually a robot created by Jeremy to toy with my emotions. And now she's off somewhere in the galaxy, probably laughing at me from whatever planet she landed on. And that, folks, is why you should never trust a girl who seems too good to be true. Also, don't forget to check out my Patreon. I promise there are no robots involved.